Yeah, honestly, with these type of deals, it makes sense for Al to come back even then too.
Seriously, right? That's the thing I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, if we're doing 1 year avoidables, why not do the same thing with Al? Why not?
Now we don't have to worry about it in the draft.
Exactly. That takes another need off of our table. And now you're looking at the draft saying, well, hey, now we're just worried about running back and linebackers.
Maybe center.
Maybe a center, but feel a lot more confident. And J.C. Hassenauer, I mean, obviously, depending on how you feel about him at center, he's had multiple games at center. He was obviously in week 17. He played a lot in that game at center. We've talked about him playing at guard as well. So it's depending on how they feel. That might not be as pressing of a need. You have a lot more luxury. 1 year, 4 avoidable years. Say, Al, looks like your market is about 15 mil. We'll give you 16. 1 year. 15 in signing bonus. $1 million in base salary. What say you, big fella? I'm sick. Avoidable years. It's going to count 1.375 on the cap this year. How?
And it makes sense for Al specifically, or some of these cornerbacks that are a little bit older. Because if it was Al in his prime, like at 28, he wants the multi-year deal. Right. But now at this point, it's like, all right, let's play another year. Maybe I'll retire after next year. Maybe I want to keep going. Maybe I'll sign another 1 year deal.
And think about that was the conversation surrounding Al when the season ended this year. Was he going to retire? Would he come back? Now, Al is very different in terms of how he communicates that type of stuff. He's out. He goes off the grid. He's not social media guy. Like, he disappears on you. So, yeah, this is, he might still be contemplating that stuff right now. We don't know. We don't know where he's at. We don't know what he's doing. Yeah. But that's just Al. That's how he operates. So I do know from his standpoint, though, that even though, getting the most in terms of contracts is important for him because of his life experiences. You think about what he was able to see in his previous career, that has changed his perspective a lot in terms of how he views some of this stuff, just from personal conversations when he went through it the first go around, right? When he was it the Mike Hilton situation? He was exclusive rights free agent and things like that, but he was starting at the time at left tackle and they went ahead and gave him a nice deal during that time frame. Those are some of the things that were talked about. It's like, well, man, how do you feel about this? Like, you want to get more? Do you not want to get more? And his perspective was very different, but heavily because of the stuff that he saw prior to coming and playing in the NFL. So we obviously have a huge respect for that element of it. But with him, he's a unique person from that standpoint, right? He could be a guy that would be a lot open to this and probably at a better rate than what we're even throwing out because of those variables as well. So that's one of the things that
keep an eye out.
Yeah, that definitely makes it a wild card element of it. And I think it helps in terms of if it were to become a bidding situation where teams were offering more, which they probably are, those type of things help us out in the long run.
Yeah, I swear we haven't even heard any rumors with him at all, like talking to any teams. Mm-hmm. Let me see real quick. Yeah, nothing on Google right now.
Yeah, man.
I'm serious. Like I typed in Kyle Rudolph just to make sure he was signed.
Pops up, man. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, top stories. There's 3 right here. Kyle Rudolph with the Giants. I type in Villanueva. There's articles that are coming up from like a couple months ago.
Yeah, bro.
So there's no news on him right now.
Yeah, man. So I do think similar to Juju, though, the longer it goes, the better the probability of him at least coming back or strongly considering coming back. Why is it significant? Even though, like I said, here in Pittsburgh, we kind of felt like, man, his play has declined and we're ready to move on. We still have to find someone that's going to be able to play to that level or better. He still was playing at a good enough level that he can go start at another team in the NFL. Not saying that he's going to be Pro Bowl level. Not saying that he's going to be dominant. Not saying that he's going to be good every snap. But he's going to give you a lot more good than bad plays out there right now. And finding another left tackle like that is just the supply-demand element of it. There's not a lot of supply of high-quality left tackles that aren't already signed to mega deals. I mean, left tackle is no different than quarterbacks. Typically, the good ones, you never get a chance to get on the market. It just is what it is.
Yeah, he was having trouble. Yeah. This has kind of been his MO, though, throughout his career with some of the smaller pass rushers, right?
Absolutely.
We saw that in the Bengals game. Mm-hmm. Was he going up against, for the most part, Myles Garrett in that wild card game? Mm-hmm. From what I remember, yeah, Myles Garrett was playing pretty good. He played good in that Thursday night game in 2019, too.
Myles is Myles.
Yeah.
For everybody that hates on Myles, I'm like, you cut the tape on, it's different. I don't care about the guy personally, but you cut the tape on, you respect that. That's the thing. No different. We talked about even with Vontaze Burfict. He was another guy. People hate on Vontaze. I'm like, bro, you can say he's the most dirtiest player out there, but anybody that plays on the field with him, you know that's awesome. A dude. He can ball. Like, the antics started to overshadow it, but he can ball. Like, it's certain dudes just like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, top 2 or 3 pass rusher in the league right now. I mean, you got between him and TJ.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chandler Jones. I don't know who else you would throw in that mix.
But it's different because he's a 4-3 DN. Whereas those other guys, they kind of stand up a little bit. Now, Chandler, he stands up, but he's still a rush guy. He's not dropping like TJ and stuff like that. But no, he's definitely in that conversation, man. Put it like this. To avoid the having to nitpick who's 1 and 2, just say he's a top 5 edge rusher. Usually, sure, it's top 5.
Who won Defensive Player of the Year this year?
No. It was
was it
Aaron Donald.
I was okay.
Yeah, Aaron
I was gonna say, was it another edge rusher? Because I know in 2019 it was TJ and
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Jones in the mix.
Yep, it was Aaron Donald.
Myles Garrett was in the mix too. He got hurt or something. He missed a couple games.
Yep.
But yeah.
So you could definitely see, some of the pieces like that though. But either way, with Al, if he were to come back, I do think it would help us. Even if he doesn't win the job, if it's just solely to compete with Zach Banner and Zach takes over at left tackle, however you want to slice it, I just think that you can never have enough quality offensive linemen. Because even though how we view Al as taking a step back, do you think Al is better than J.C. Hassenauer right now? Do you think Al can play better than a B.J. Finney right now? To me, I personally think that he still can play up to that level of being better than those type of guys, even though they're different positions. I just think that he brings at least that level of play for his spot. Whereas you can see at the other spots where it might be a little bit more limited there. So knowing that, give me some more good pieces like that.
I agree. Yeah, and it goes back to the signing that we had, the dude that used to play with the Bucks. Mm-hmm. We just need guys, and if one of them's Al, I'll take it for sure.